What we're going to do now is we're going to do a bit of a role play where we'll use ourselves, our bodies, to represent what's happening here in this code, because the concept of variables can be a bit tricky to understand at first glance. Okay, so the program that we saw before kind of works like this, okay? It asks the user to type in their first name, so Jennifer, you said Jennifer, and then asks the user to type in their surname, so you said Pong, and then finally it displays this award is presented to surname, comma, first name. Okay, it has the scroll around it, but we won't worry about that for now, okay? So if you think about that program, if you break it down into 3 stages, these are the 3 stages that's going on, okay? The first stage asks the user to type in their first name. Second stage, type in their surname. Third stage, display, okay? The thing that we need to understand with Python and most programming languages is how do you get the information from this first line? How do you get that information down there to the third line? And then how does it get the information from the second line of the code, which is the surname, how does it get down there? The problem is these lines of code, they don't talk directly to each other. Okay, they're not allowed to talk. You can imagine they're like students in a class, kind of like you guys, very, very sensible students, okay? That line can't talk to that line. So if you had a student representing the first line and the student representing the third line, right, can't talk. Shh, no talking in class, okay? Similarly, the second line, which is the surname, can't talk to that line as well, okay? So how are we going to get that information to this final line of code that will display the fantastic certificate to the user, okay? So in order to get going, we will role play. We will need 4 volunteers, okay? 1 volunteer to represent each line of code and 1 volunteer to represent the user that will be typing in the information, okay? All right, so what we're going to do, Bhavna, if you want to just, if it's okay, if she can just stand over here just a little bit to the side. Now the 3, so you guys are the program, okay? They represent each line of code in the program. Just turn around, make sure you're familiar with what your task is. What is your instruction, what you need to do, okay? All right, so what's going to happen is Bhavna's going to walk up to each line of code at a time, okay? So you write your name and you give it to Luna, okay? And then you move on. So let's go through this, okay? And we'll see how this goes. So Bhavna, let's go up to our first line of code, okay? First line of code. What are you going to do?
Please type your first name.
Excellent. Awesome. Fold it up, fold it up. Okay, good. So she's typed it in and she's pressed enter, hasn't she? Excellent, good. All right, awesome. You go to the next line of code. Okay, next line of code.
Please type in your surname.
Yep, fold it up. And Jennifer's very savvy. She's already seen the names. All right, good. All right, that's awesome. Okay, now you come over to Jennifer. Okay, so Jennifer, pretend you actually didn't see that. Do you have the information at the moment in order to draw the certificate for Bhavna?
Nope, I don't have it.
You don't have it. Do you know what the first name is?
Nope, I don't have it.
Don't have it, okay? So these 2 lines of code have got the information that the user typed in, but they can't talk to Jennifer. How are they going to get the information to her? Okay? Okay, here's a hint. Here's a hint. You've got the information, yeah? Written down. I'm going to give you guys some folders now. Okay? Now these folders are shared folders. So everyone has access to these folders, including you, Jennifer, okay? You have access to the folder. You 2 lines of code have got access to the folders. You also have access to the folders. These are called the variables. Variables are folders that are shared between all the lines of code. So that's one way that you can pass information to it, okay? So why don't you put your information into the folders, okay? And fantastic. Just going to do this for a sec. I'm intentionally putting my back behind to you, Jennifer, okay? Here we are, okay? The folders are nice there. They're all shared, okay? Everyone can access them, okay? Jennifer, can you now use the information to fully generate the certificate?
No, because I don't
Why
know
not?
which one is the surname. I don't know which one is the name.
Good, right? So she does have access to the information now, but she doesn't know which one is which, yeah? So what can you guys do to help there?
We could put a label on it.
Yes, you can put a label on them to describe what they contain, yeah? Not necessarily what Bhavna wrote, but just to describe what they can contain. Good, so Bhavna, yep, excellent. So let's come back over here, Bhavna, and we'll go through the program one more time, okay? All right, so we'll go through it one more time, and you go through each line of code, and each line of code you do everything you think you need in order for Jennifer to produce the certificate at the end. Okay, let's go. Line 1.
Please type the first name.
Okay, now what will you need now, Luna?
I need a place to put them that has a label that says first name.
Good. All right, you can have the variable, and you can write whatever you want on that variable. Okay, good. Awesome. Let's put this down here. Okay, let's continue with the program.
Please type in your surname.
Enter.
Good. What do you need, Ariane?
I need a folder.
Need a folder. She needs a variable.
Yes, thank you.
What else is she going to do with that variable?
Label this folder.
She's going to put a label or a name onto that variable. Fantastic. Okay, so here they are. I'm just going to jumble these up like I did before. Okay. All right, Jennifer, do you think you have enough information now in order to generate the certificate? You do? Yep. Go ahead. Do your line of code.
This award is presented to Jack.
Jack.
First name. So this award is presented to, surname was Jack,
Jack,
comma,
comma.
first name was Maya. So this
Maya.
award is presented to Jack, comma, Maya.
Excellent. Very good. Now, did you guys at any point talk to each other? No. You always use the envelopes, which are the shared pieces of information between all the lines of code. That is how variables work. Variables are needed, absolutely essential for code to communicate data between themselves. Okay? Great job. Round of applause for our volunteers. So good. So good. So good.